Guillermo Contreras is the federal courts reporter for the San Antonio Express News. Scott Huddleston, county government reporter for the San Antonio Express News, joining us on The Record Continues. Guillermo, you've been covering the case involving the attorney who's known in San Antonio as the DWI Dude. Fill us in on some of the problems he got into and where we stand with that now.
Well, he's an interesting character because he ran for Attorney General of Texas as a Libertarian candidate. So, he seemed to want to do some reforms, but at about the same time, he got involved with these Colombian clients that were brought to him by a private investigator out of Florida, and somehow there's discussion ensued about, I think I can do more for your case if you pay me a little more money, and we'll take care of the judge and prosecutor and others here, wink, wink, kind of situation. So it landed them in hot water because the Colombians ended up getting angry and turned to who? To the FBI, of all people.
At least the Colombian drug lords didn't do what they normally do when they get boxed into a corner. It could have been a lot worse for the DWI Dude.
Exactly, and if you're familiar with, some of these guys were kind of descendants or successors after Pablo Escobar, the most known kingpin. So, they could have been anything from explosions to a shallow grave kind of situation.
I don't condone criminal activity, but you kind of have to give props to somebody who's willing to scam some of the most powerful drug lords in the world. This sounds like an Ocean's 11 kind of movie.
Well, it was interesting. Of course, the DWI dude claims he was set up by this private investigator.
So his case is continuing.
Yeah, well, he's been convicted, but he faces sentencing early next year. They took him into custody right after the trial, which is, I guess the judge felt that he could probably had some money somewhere and could flee.
Scott, it's 3 strikes for the Alamo reimagining project, and we wonder whether or not it's 3 strikes and you're out. First of all, we had the debate over the cenotaph. Secondly, we had the lawsuit filed by the Native American groups concerned about the handling of the burials. And now we have the Woolworth Building, which is supposed to be part of the museum of the Alamo, which is all of a sudden being protected by a monuments organization because of its connection to the civil rights movement. Is the Alamo project cursed? Is it ever going to get off the, off the dime and start moving and maybe move on and get done?
Well, I think that the Alamo officials who are in charge of the project would argue that they won on the cenotaph issue, that the cenotaph is going to move. The Woolworth Building, that there will be a representation of the lunch counter of some kind, and that's in the lease between the city and the state. As far as the Native American issue, that's still a pending lawsuit, but I believe that they think that they will win that.
So you're optimistic that this thing will be done? Will it be done by 2024?
I wouldn't say that I'm optimistic. I think that it's still possible that the project could be completed by that time, but the clock is ticking and time's running out. So, it would be better if there could be some kinds of compromises brokered so that this project can move forward. I think that there may be some room for compromises on some of these issues, but we'll have to wait and see.
Scott Huddleston is county government reporter for the San Antonio Express News. Guillermo Contreras, federal courts reporter for the San Antonio Express News. Thank you both for joining us on The Conversation Continues.